Everyone. So today we are going to talk about absolute references, cell freezing or placing a dollar in the cell. Okay, I know I'm confusing you. So without talking about what is absolute reference, why it is actually required and what are the parts of it, how to implement it, I cannot explain you everything. So we are breaking this into parts. The first one is why do we need absolute reference? What is the use of it? The problem statement. Next, we'll talk about complete freeze, then row freeze and column freeze. And as usual, we have a bonus part as well. Let's start. Let's first build a problem statement around it with the help of an example so that you will understand why do we actually need it and what it is actually. Here we have products and the sale amount for those products. Along with that, if you see here in blue 18%, that is a GST rate. Now we have to calculate what is a GST amount for each of this here in this particular column C, highlighted in yellow. So formula is simple, is equal to 1200 for the first one into, that is B5, into 18%, that is C2. B5 into C2. I press enter, I got the amount 216 rupees. Now what do we do to replicate the same formula to the cells below this? We drag the formula down. So I'll drag this particular formula down. Wow. Is it 0 here? Impossible. And why is it giving error here? 9,800 is a amount, sale amount, and this showed 2,116,800. Is absolutely wrong. Okay, first let's see what is wrong. Here it is perfect, B5 into C2, and it calculates the amount 216. Here it is B6, correct, into C3. That is not right. It should have been 18%, which is C2 itself, right? Next cell, again 6,500 into C4, which is, it is coming down here. Why it is behaving like that? That is because when we drag the formula down, along with the formula, the reference cells also move down. That's how the Excel is designed. So when this, from here, when we go to this place, when this cell has moved down 4 cells, 4 rows, this cells also move down by 4 rows. And that is a reason it is not calculating it right. So we have to do something so that this 18% remains 18%, but at the same time it calculates the amount for all these values, all these rows, right? So the B5 should go down, B6, B7, B8, B9, but the C2 should remain constant. Let's see how to do it in complete freeze. Alright, now we come to complete freeze, the first one. What is complete freeze? Now in this particular example, if you see, we have Ravi Kumar, who is a sales representative, and there are other sales representatives as well. And their achievement for January, February and March, what they have achieved. Now, company has decided to give a bonus to them, 10% flat to everyone. So, for Ravi Kumar, for the month of January, we have to calculate 4,500, February 4,800, 10% of this. And accordingly, for each and every one, for each and every month from January to March. Say the formula is very easier. You click on 45,000, that is B5 into 10%. That is C2. Press enter. You got that 45,000, 4,500. Now, if you drag the formula down, it doesn't make sense. Why it doesn't make sense? Let's go down here and check.
as we already discussed, this is moving down. This cell is also moving down along with this cell, which should not happen. We have to keep this particular cell constant at this particular location, which is C2 itself. We have to tell Excel, no matter where I move the formula, do not change C2. C2 has to be C2 in this particular example. Now, how to do that? To do that, what you need to do is, in this 4500 where you have put C2 here, you have to give $2 before and after C. Dollar here and dollar here. How to put that? Either you can directly type from your keyboard, or on your keyboard there are function keys on the top, F1, F2, F3, F4. Press F4 by keeping the cursor here on this particular cell. It will automatically put these dollars here. Now the cell is freezed. This is a way of telling Excel, saying that this particular cell in this formula, which should not be changed no matter where I drag this formula. Now I drag this formula down. Look at this. This one has moved down, B9. But the one which we freezed has not moved down. It stayed in 10% constant. Now, no matter where I pull this particular formula, that C2 will remain C2 itself. Even here, it is calculating 10% on this D9 into C2. That is complete freeze. Alright, next one, row freeze. What is row freeze? The name says it is freezing a row, not the entire cell. Now let's see that. Now here, we have the same achievements here from each and every sales representative. But for each and every month, there is a target given here. So based on this particular target, we have to see what is a variance. That means here Ravi Kumar has achieved 45,000, whereas his target is 42,000. So he has achieved 3,000 extra. So we have to put 3,000 here. What is the formula? Is equal to my actual minus the target. F5 minus B3. Press enter, 3,000. Correct. Now I drag the formula down. You all know that it is not going to work because this particular reference also moves down. So just like last example, if we freeze this particular one, then it will work. Perfect, right? So it is my 36,000 minus 42,000. He has done 6,000 short. So within bracket means it's a minus figure, negative figure. Perfect. Now when I drag the formula to the right, will it work? Looks like it is working. But let's double click on that and check. What is it doing? It 48,000 minus B3, 42,000. No. The February should have been 44,000 because the 44,000 is a target for February. But it is still pointing at 42,000. Why? Because we have already told Excel here the B3 should be B3 no matter where I take this particular formula or drag this particular formula. This particular cell should not be changed. It is not changing now. Not its fault. We asked it to do that. So what should actually happen? This particular row should remain constant, 42,000, 44,000, 46,000. But when I drag the formula to the right, the column should change from 42 to 44, from 44 to 46, from B to C and from C to D. In that case, what we have to do is, we have to remove the dollar from the column. B is a column. So I remove the dollar from the column. I only left the dollar to the 3, which is a row. So only the row is freezed now. Now when I move this formula to the right, the column will change. Why? Because the column is open. It's not freezed. Only the row is freezed. Let's see that. Drag it down. Perfect. Drag it across. B3 Here also B3 because the row is freezed. But when I move to the right, it is C3 because the column was left open. If you see here, it is D3. Right? 41,500 minus 46,000. That is 4,500 short. That is a row freeze. The next one, column freeze. Now what is column freeze? Exactly opposite to row freeze. Last example we did the row freeze, now we are going to do the column freeze. We'll work out exercise on this. So this is a base price of each and every item. And every quarter on the base price, the price changes. Right? On Q1, 2% more than 800 for this item. For Q4, 4% more. For Q3, 3% more, and Q4, 5% more. So the formula is like this. B5, that is this, into 1 plus this 2%, which is D3. Now 1 is nothing but 100% in mathematics, right? D3 is 2%, which is 0.02. Okay, so it becomes 102%. Right? So 800 into 102%, that will come up till 816. Now this is the price increase in the month of Q1. Now when I drag this down, will it work? It doesn't work. Why? We are not freezed it. So to freeze the row, we know from the last exercise, we have to freeze this particular row. D3. 3 is freezed. Now will it work? Yes, it works. There we go. 3,200, 2% is 3,264, right? Now when I drag this to the right, will it work? It's not working. Why? The E3 one is right. It has come here. Even here it is E3. That is correct. It is this particular cell is freeze properly. Look at this one here. It is not calculating on 800. It is going to this particular blank row because we drag the formula to the right and the reference cell also moved to the right. Right? So now here we have to tell Excel saying that don't change this particular column B. You can change the row because when I drag the formula down, this has to move down. Right? For each and everything it has to calculate. But the column should not be changed. So before C, I'm going to place a $. So only the column is freezed here. In this case, the row is freezed. In this case, the column is freezed here. Now, sorry, I should have done it here. Now, I drag this formula down and drag this formula to the right. There we go. So here it is B5 into D3. If you come here, B9, the column has not moved to the right because we freeze the column here. Row has not moved down because we freeze the row here. Right? Now this is a column freeze. So we know both row and column freeze now. Okay, the bonus one. This is the last thing in freeze cells. This is a multiplication grid. As I learned the multiplication table in our primary classes. Alright, so we'll do something like that here. Let's think that these are the number from 1 1za or 2 1za to 2 10za kind of a thing. So we'll do the entire multiplication table here. So if I want to multiply 6 into 5, okay, then I have to see here, right? This is 5 here, this is 6 here. So here I need to get 30. With me so far? Good. We'll start from here. So here the formula should be 1 into 1. Press enter. When I drag this formula down, it doesn't work properly. Why? Because this moves down properly, but along with that, this particular reference also moves down. So what we have to do? We have to freeze this particular row, right? So the row for this is B3 here. So I have to freeze this 3. Now, is this fine? Perfect. 1 to 10. Now let's move this to right. right? Drag this to right. Not right. 10 into 10 is 100. It is showing some huge number. Why? Because along with this is fine, but this cell has moved to the right. Okay, the column has moved to the right. It should not have been the case. It should have been freezed here, right? So what do we do here? Initial phase, here we have to freeze the column. Right? So we can freeze it either here or here and drag it up from here as well. One at the same, it works. Then move to the right. Yeah, done. Right? So let's see this one here. It is K3 where the row is freezed into A9, this one, where the column is freezed. And the entire multiplication table is here. With this, we are coming to the end of freeze cells or absolute cells or placing the dollar. So we spoke about complete freeze, row freeze, and column freeze, and this bonus one. So if you like this particular one, please leave a like and please do subscribe to this